nature of being oneself is often going to be a courageous fit. But why is that the case? Hello, my name is Shogi Actus. I'm an artist and I'll be talking about this painting that I did. Now, to answer this question, I wanted to use my life experiences to find inspiration for this painting. When you use a scientific approach to explore the question, you find that the definition of identity takes many forms. It could be self-directed, it could be societally or nationally influenced. It could also be explored in the concept of belief, such as religion, politics, spirituality, or an idea. And other times it's explored in the essence of the material possessions that we have or don't have. Now, having lived in Africa and experienced different cultures and lived in different countries, I was genuinely curious of how my life was going to shape up in the US. However, I quickly learned that there were new ideologies and concepts that I would have to grapple with. Whereas the pursuit of individuality and being far away from religion was like the main goal at the time, I quickly learned that my life and how I was going to present myself into the world was going to be much more nuanced than I had preconceived. Now, exposed to the concepts of race as Americans understand it, my experience with sex as a gay man, and my attachments to the behaviors that I grew up with and how I was going to either keep them or get rid of them, and my understanding of financial literacy or awareness, these things became an integral part of my research of self. Now, in comes the quest for identity. I would go about and, based on the observation and my experiences, learn more of what I wanted to be or not to be. Shakespeare. And one of the things that is explored with this subject matter, as you'll see in a little bit, is, first of all, this is a mixed media on traditional canvas. I wanted the subject to explore the concept of self, and in that case also represent different perspectives in the skin tones that you see on the subject. I'm not sure if you can see this clearly, but if you can tell, the skin tones represent the fact that we are different, but almost somewhat similar. As we go into life, we explore the questions of who we are or how we want to be in the world, what we need to achieve, what we need to get rid of. I approach this concept with a naive perception, for sure, but I feel that that is one of the joys of being human, that you get to learn from each other. So I wanted the essence of the different skin tones represented by the stripes that you see here. So you have people of African descent of very different variety of skin tones. You also have people of Eurocentric skin tones. So however you want to view this subject of this painting is totally up to you, but that's the message I wanted to convey. Now, having landed in the Midwest as my first home, I wanted that represented by the sweater. This takes me back to one of those moments where my first job in America was working for Starbucks as a barista. And I was running late for work because the trains weren't working. It was winter. I had worked hard to get this job. And so the sun was out and I thought, what could go wrong? It's warm out, the sun is out, so I'm gonna be fine. And I decided to walk from the train station to work. And I got to work and I was just like, And so that memory is always in my head, and I wanted that represented by the sweater. Now, my first team that I worked with, they were very encouraging, they were very helpful. They would teach me the things I needed to learn about, first off, being a Black man in America. Secondly, being a gay man. And third, being an employee. there were so many experiences that we had as staff that some things I was like, you know what, I don't like defining myself like this. I prefer to define myself as a human being, and I navigate the world like that. Whichever preconceived notions that people have about skin tone or sexuality, that's totally up to them. I am running away from that, having moved here from Africa. I don't want to deal with that. Oh, was I wrong? That became the daily aspect of my life. And so I needed to learn how to navigate that world or that environment with the softness that I wish to continue to have in my life. So that's just a little bit of the things that I explore now in this subject matter. This subject himself is exploring that. And I feel that you could either relate to the subject of what they're doing, but also in the sense that, the face is not fully complete. You can only see the stripes, you don't see the eyes, you don't see the nose or the mouth. That represents a continued journey, as I feel that my experience as a human being is ever evolving, and I continue to learn from what I observe, from what I experience, and what I hear from other people. Now, at the end of the day, I hope to use concepts like this to fully be in the present moment and to be one with self. So thank you for listening in, thank you for joining in, and have a good day.